How do you want it? How do you want it set up? Because you can do whatever you want.
So, this one I'll do this one standing.
Yeah.
And the other one I'll be sitting. L.O.V.E. In a relationship, I'm all about putting the work in just to get things working. But what's the whole point when your partner isn't invested in the same thing? While you're busy breaking your back to lay a solid foundation, they're only interested in creating an illusion that others can believe in. It's deceiving. And that deception can be blinding. So busy putting up smoke screens that they end up blurring your vision. No, everyone has lost vision of the main thing. Playing games with the art that they were given. And it's crazy because it's not easy creating a home when there are so many reasons to roam. Many opportunities to make connections, and many of these connections are just covering dead zones. So we try our hardest to boost the signals, always ignoring the warning signs that are flashing with red overtones. You see, a relationship to me is about teamwork, working together for the win. But why do I feel like my team is always losing? Our emotions are always clashing. Your emotion on full display, while mine, they're all caged in, because as a man, I'm not meant to express these feelings. So they stay imprisoned within. The past anchoring us to the present, preventing our love from experiencing future things. I know I'm free, but lately, I've been thinking, this is beginning to feel like a trap to me. This is beginning to feel like a trap to me. You see, this game called love can be difficult. And instead of trying to work it out or simply getting out, I started using cheat codes. See, I would circle the X, playing on emotions, because that's familiar ground. And before I knew it, I was entangled in a few conundrums. But I'm always doubling back to try and clean up the mess I've made. I started off wanting to do right in my relationship, but left it in complete dismay. With every letter of this poem, I realize this has a lot to do with me. I can't blame anybody. The past is the past. I don't live there anymore, but it has taught me some hard lessons that I just can't ignore. The present is what I should embrace, and I'm doing this now. The present is what I should embrace, so I'm definitely doing this now. L.O.V.E. Lengthy overthinking with vulnerable emotions. RVJ. I'll always say, the first thing I'll say, let it be, whatever is motivating, let it be intrinsic. It has to be internal. Because you tend to get more longevity from that. That's what I found. With anything anyway, but please find the reason internally why that you want to do this. That lays a solid foundation, and that can only branch off, because if it starts there, then you, through the process, you will start to learn new things, meet new people, have new conversations, and then you start to develop on your own personality through your style of writing. So I'd say find the reason inside first, and then everything else will just branch off that. That's a solid base to start. Yeah.
That's beautiful, that. Change colour. That's what I know.
No,
I don't know how they get on me, but yeah.
No,
Those lights that change colour.
There it is.
Yeah, I don't need any lights. I think I'll just probably
Black or white background?
black background.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, use my a standard. It's crazy the path life can take you on. It's crazy. 1 minute you can be enjoying life, and the next minute it's no longer fun. But I'll keep on keeping on until there's no more left to be done. My life has been crazy, but you couldn't tell unless I said it. You get me? Looking back, I'd want to change things back then, but if I keep looking back, I'll miss these opportunities in front of me. I can't change the things I couldn't back then, but I can address them when these memories show up to haunt me. So many questions, and the answers are all there. I just need to look into the face of my uncertainties. Today, a elder rang me, and that phone call meant so much to me. He said some things that will stay with me forever, trust me. Man said he's been watching me. The big man said he had a lot of respect for me. He's not exactly family, but neither is he a stranger to me. That conversation had my mind moving busy. Made me wish to hear these same things from Mummy and Daddy. I'm not saying they've never said it, I'm just saying those memories look invisible to me. But back to the elder though, I didn't realize the things I did make him look up to me. Especially when I was feeling so down, internally. I practice patience daily in an effort to control the anger in me. That brother is a problem for everybody, believe me. But have I told you about my daughters and how heaven had sent them to save me? They saved me and in turn saved so many people, some of whom are still around me. They don't know it, but they're lucky. My daughters being here is calming to me. Forget everything they do that may seem annoying to me. Those same things I probably did and more as I was trying to find myself during puberty. They are my lullaby, they calm me. When the demons are singing sweet melodies to me. They keep me stable when my tectonic plates are shifting uncontrollably. But have I told you about my daughters and how heaven had sent them to help me? They are my North Star, they guide me. Kiara and Tara, Daddy loves you dearly. Remember I mentioned Mummy and Daddy, aka Mums and Pops, and the things I wish they did, especially since they're still here with me. Made me think about the relationship with my daughters. I have to love them regularly, feeding them with the nutrients of which I speak. Writing this, I didn't know it would get so deep. I thought about it, I've talked about it, now I have to make them see and feel. My actions will guide them when I'm no longer here to proceed. My memories will help them along as they unpack their good deeds for the world to see. I guess I could do this with my parents too. Communication should always be a two-way street with loads of options in between, but you don't always get to choose how you live the life you lead. You don't always get to choose how you proceed. You don't always get to choose. Kiara, I love you. Tara, Daddy loves you too. I love you, Mummy. I love you, Daddy. But you don't always get to choose how you proceed. You just don't always get to choose how you live the life you lead. And that's just how my heart sounds when it speaks. That's just how my heart sounds when it speaks. That's just how my heart sounds when it speaks. That's just how my heart sounds when it speaks. What has happened, why it has happened, and just working through those things. A bit of accountability will come out in that piece as well, personal accountability. And then Gentle Me is about family. He speaks about my daughters and my mother and my father. That's Gentle Me.
Nice.
Yeah.
For both pieces, would you say that your writing process is similar, or do you tend to switch it up?
I'd say I switch it up on these two, even though they're pretty recent. By recent, I mean this year. They're slightly different. There's one with music, one without. So it's very different, two writing styles, which I've realized the more I write and perform, it's evolving, continue. So I'm happy about that.
Would you say that you ever had like a specific writing process, or do you think, because as you said, like you feel like it's evolved over your journey, do you think that's something new, that you've like started using loads of different writing processes, or did you start with like one way of doing stuff?
Yeah, I did start with one way of doing stuff.
What was that?
And it was basically, so you mean like the method, like what was my process? It it was just being up late at night, passing the time. That's how I started writing, and then everything else, from maybe inspiration from a poetry event I went to, or speaking to someone, or just creating the mood putting the music on, or going somewhere specific with a certain type of scenery background. So I started using different methods to write, and that in itself helped with the actual style of writing. So it depends on where I am, what I'm doing, what's influencing me, or what has influenced the piece. Yeah, so I translate to the type of style. That makes sense?
No. Lastly, if you could give one piece of advice to a younger RVJ, what would you say?
Have more conversations. Yeah, have more conversations, because that's definitely a solid influence on my writing now. Conversations can be endless, and there's always a different perspective. I think the biggest thing I've realized is that I may go into a conversation thinking I know it all as far as my idea, and I leave the conversation thinking, oh, I've never thought about it from that angle.
Facts.
So yeah, have more conversations.